what is your day actually like? Like, how do you manage all this?
Sure. So today I will pull up my calendar just for you to see. All right.
I'm afraid.
So I had a webinar at 8 a.m.
Okay.
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 Which may be hard to see. I have this podcast 12 to 1 PS or 12 to 12:45 PST. I have another call at 1, but I did that call after my first webinar because I had a ton of extra time. And that's it for the day. I spend a lot of time talking with the team and strategizing about M&A. That's where I spend majority of my time. I talk to them about current clients, who's happy, who's not, if I should talk to anyone, get on the phone. But my schedule is actually pretty chill. Now, I still spend somehow 60 plus hours a week working, but I don't have to actually work 60 hours. But when my schedule gets hectic, it's actually when I travel. So, like, I head out to India on Sunday. The moment I land, you're talking about back-to-back meetings. When I say back-to-back, no joke, not a break. During lunch, I have a meeting with someone, and you're still talking
Yeah.
about business. It keeps it all in the same building, so I don't have to move and deal with traffic. No joke, for at least 12 hours. So I'll have back-to-backs for 12 hours a day for at least 2 to 3 days, and then I'll leave and go back home.
And the reason I asked that question is, I mean, you and I talked about this when we were at dinner. We talked about our schedules and this interesting thing of like, as you get your business bigger, trying to have a more open schedule. And when I think about those people who are tired, like they're not in that situation, I don't think. So I think it's just an interesting thing to talk about, is not like how you hack your schedule or something, but like how you get into a position where you get the leverage. I've talked about that on the podcast before, but I'd kind of love to hear how you think about that, like how you get real leverage so that you can actually have the time so that it isn't as taxing, so that you can take on these more things at once.
So no matter who you're talking to, no one is the best at everything. We're not a jack of all trades, right? We're not great at sending rockets into space, building electric cars, running a social network, unless you're Elon Musk. Yeah, I'll give you the
Yeah.
caveat there. He's probably one of the few people that can do a lot, and I wouldn't bet against him. But even Elon, he's not perfect, and he'll admit that. He doesn't send rockets into space with no issues. A lot of them crash and have issues, but he continually goes forward and learns from his mistakes. I just focus on one thing. I'm not doing anything revolutionary like Elon. Running an ad agency is not rocket science. There's executives who have run ad agencies or divisions within ad agencies that are publicly traded that are much better at managing a P&L than I am. There's a lot of people who have just done sales for ad agencies that are better than I am. There's people who have done client services at ad agencies, again, that are better than I am. So what we do is we just hire people who are better than us. That's cause fast growth, but over time, the unexpected result of it was you're actually working your way out of a job. So you spend a lot more time on strategy. And then I pick and choose my hours. So like this week, my calendar is really lax for a reason, because I know next week is hectic and I won't see my kids. So I'm trying to spend a lot of time with them here, because if I have 12-hour meetings back to back for 3 days straight, plus I'm going to have to work at least a few hours before the meetings and at least an hour at nighttime. So I'm probably pulling 15 plus hour days for 3 days in a row, right? That's just those 3 days out of the week. So I'll have a much larger than a 60-hour work week next week, and my kids won't really see me. So I'll pick and choose how hard I work during certain times, because this week was a lucky week in which I wasn't traveling at all. So like yesterday, I took my daughter to the mall, and it was just daddy-daughter day. Took her to the mall. She
What'd you hit
bossed.
at the mall? We gotta know.
So I took her first to a restaurant called Sweet Greens. Not even a restaurant, just a salad
Yeah,
place. Rice and chicken. I don't know if you guys have that in the East Coast.
we
And
have sweet green.
then she wanted to go to Sephora, so I let her pick four makeups because she's 4 years old. So I said, you can only pick four things. Then she wanted to go to a toy store next to the ice cream shop. She didn't find the toy she was looking for, but she picked three for her brother, two from dad, one from her. So I was like, okay. And she wanted to go to a different toy store. And I don't spend enough quality time with my kids because I travel. So when I do, I try to make it count. Usually I don't really do the shopping stuff, but this is one of the first times I did. She hasn't been to a mall before. At least, when she was really like a baby, she did. But she was born during right before COVID, so she didn't get to experience malls too frequently. And she went to this store called American Doll and she bought a doll. Who knew how much a doll could cost?
Yeah,
I
those will
never
run you.
knew.
Those
Yeah.
are elite dolls.
Yeah, and there wasn't tons of options in the mall. And I was like, yeah, let's get a doll, like 10 bucks, 20 bucks. No,
Nah.
it cost like $100. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. That's
And
top tier doll.
Top tier doll.
yeah, I got her ice cream because I told her to get her ice cream. And we went home and I played with the doll with her, helped her like change clothes or whatever she was doing with the doll.
Yeah.
And then we did some puzzles together. And then I also read both my kids quite a bit of the books that we picked from the library. And I like teaching about random stuff. Like one of the toys we got was an astronaut toy. So then they'll be like, oh, let's travel to Mars. We're like, well, let's look up Mars. What's the
Yeah.
atmosphere made out of? What would life be like on Mars? And we watch some video clips of it. She's like, oh, let's travel to Jupiter. And then we do the same there. But I try to make it educational at the same time.
It's good programming.
Yeah,
That's
a Monday
solid.
in your world. Yeah, like what running your businesses.
Yeah. And then funny enough, after they ate dinner, I called a few of the execs. I said, how's the M&A going? They
Yeah.
gave me an overview of the pipe. I'll call them again on Friday because I chatted with them on Monday. Talked to the CEO. My co-founder called me when he was talking to him. I didn't pick up. My co-founder then called the CEO. He merged us both in. He's like, hey, I got a potential deal. We talked about that. And we were shooting the shit for like 5 minutes. And we're like, all right, you guys enjoy the night. But again, once you get to a certain size and scale, believe it or not, it is really hard to make a huge impact with one phone call or one change. It takes a long time and a lot of effort, no matter how nimble you think you are, because there's just so many people.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Why is it so hard when there's more people?
It becomes bureaucratic, even if you're at the top. Like, what I mean by that is, oh, we have a lot of big corporations. We have to have these security and safety protocols in place. So you can't do a lot of these things unless you meet these. Oh, and we have insurance to protect us in case something happens with certain security things. So it's like you start thinking about things like that. It's like, okay, there's a lot of moving parts and I just can't go and make a change because I can't break things, right? And it happens where like even when we're expanding, I'm like, oh, I want to buy this company. I found one in Southeast Asia. I was talking to my team about. Technically, one of our team members or managing directors found it. And I started researching. I'm like, yeah, I want to buy it. So I brought it to some of the other team members. And I'm like, let's go, let's go. And they're like, all right, we're in a different time zone. They got pitches. We have pitches. You know, we just did a pitch with LVMH, I think yesterday in Southeast Asia. And then our team was just like, cool. The first call we can have with them is October 15th. That's when the schedules align. I was like, all right. I'm like, I'm ready to talk on the phone right now. I'm like, I'll stay up in the middle of the night. Just, you know, as you grow, you got to figure out priorities and you never have enough staff. You never have enough resources. You never have enough money. It's the same old problems.
Do you guys think there's any value to like pumping the brakes? Not being able to move as fast as like, yeah, I'll stay up all night on this call.
Um, I I'm impatient, so I want to move super fast. But a lot of times trying to move fast on some of these things doesn't make that much of a difference at all. And you have to pick and choose your battles. So we try to move fast on the stuff that directly impacts revenue or results for clients. And we move slow on a lot of other stuff because it doesn't matter as much for the business.